It's the season for Starbucks Christmas cups, so what better theme to do for my December bullet journal setup? So if you're planning along with me, grab your notebook and grab a hot drink and let's go. Hey people, it's Temi if you're new here, and I am so ready to plan for December in my notebook therapy journal. For this month, I was super inspired by Julianne Doodles. She is amazing and she did the Starbucks Christmas cup theme last year. I remember when I saw it, I just thought, oh my gosh, I have to do it this year. All year round, I've just been looking forward to doing this theme. So I'll link her video down below if you want to see her take on it. And tell me your December theme down in the comments. I love reading the themes you guys go for. And also, what's your favorite Starbucks drink? For me, it has to be a soya caramel macchiato. Woo! Amazing beautifulness. Lockdown has got me missing it, and drawing these spreads definitely doesn't help, but fingers crossed I can get my hands on one of these sometime soon. Okay, so let's go with the planning. So I started by drawing a cup. It's basically a trapezium that's wider at the top than it is at the bottom for the basic shape. And it's just a bit of trial and error until it looks right. But for the lid, I started by drawing a rectangle at the top, but it ends up being just another trapezium that this time is wider at the bottom than it is at the top. And then you've got this wider strip to complete the lid. The main pens I'm using today are the acrylograph pens. So I'm using the lighter red from the primary set and the darker red is from the Cool Fall selection. I'll link everything I use down in the description box if you're interested in those. So I've already activated these pens, but before each use you want to shake it some more and press it down just to make sure you've got good ink flow. So if you want some information about these pens in general or how to activate them or my thoughts around these pens, I'll leave my review linked down below. On the blending palette, I'm applying a generous amount of the darker red, and I'm going to use the lighter red to soak up some of the colour. This is a great blending technique because as the ink of the lighter red starts to flow through, it forms a really nice natural blend. So starting at the bottom edge, I'm just going around the perimeter, and then as I shade upwards, you can see the nice blend I was talking about. But rewind before I continue, I'm drawing around some washi tape just for the circle where Miss Mermaid Lady sits inside. And I'm using the thinner nib pen, which is the 0.7mm for that edge. And now I'm just colouring in the whole cup. And you'll notice I'm not leaving space for doodles. So this is because the acrylographs are amazing at layering. So it's actually easier for me to cover the whole area and then draw the doodles I want to draw over the top in comparison to trying to draw around intricate doodles. And for the blend of the cup, I've decided to go lighter at the top and then darker towards the bottom. I'm just using each of the pens individually, and then I'm using the method I showed earlier of just using the tips of both pens just to blend out the edges where the colours meet. And if you're following along, don't be too precious about what the blend looks like here, because as you see in a minute, we are about to cover the whole thing with doodles. So getting a smooth blend isn't that important at this point. Now for the lid, I'll be using these two greys from the Tombow set. So they come in a set of about 6 greys, and you can use any grey brush pens for this, but you want a really light grey and then one that's slightly darker. And we're just trying to give the lid some basic form, so I'm just going in some areas of shadows and then putting a little bit of an outline around it. So this is just so the lid doesn't look completely 2D. Now for the Mermaid Lady. This is probably easier than you'd think it would be. We start with an egg shape. There's kind of an upside down egg that goes from the bottom of the circle to about 1/3 of the way up. Then we're going to draw a smaller egg in the middle of the circle, and this will be her head. Below the head, we've got what looks like an elongated S. And then on the other side, we've got a mirror image of that. And that signifies the shape of her hair. Now repeat it a few times on both sides, and that just signifies some of the strands of her hair. And now for her hand/fin, you start with a right parentheses, I think you guys call it, and then a V shape just to join to the initial egg we drew. Then we do the exact same thing on the other side, and again it does not have to be perfect, and we move on to her crown. So this are just some triangles going upwards with a space for a star in the middle. And finally we've got a 5-point star at the top. Now wasn't that easy, guys? Honestly, if it was still hard for you, that's perfectly fine. You could just print off a picture with a mermaid lady in the circle and stick that into your journal. Okay, so now I'm just going to erase the sketch. Seems pretty counterproductive, but I'm just trying to lighten it before I ink it with my pens. So I'm going to use this dark green from the Cool Fall selection for the acrylograph pens, and I'm showing both sizes here, but I ended up using just the 0.7mm, which is the thinner tip. I simply outline all of the sketch lines I've just made and then fill it in. Now for the fun part. So it's time for all the beautiful doodles, and these are the main white pens I'll be using. So the Sakura Jelly Roll is the thinnest of them, so I'm going to use that for the majority of the doodles I do in this video. So starting with our mermaid lady, I'm just bringing back some definition into some of the areas where I have a little bit too much green and not enough white, and you can see how well this layers over it. You literally can't see that I put green at the bottom of it. It's absolutely amazing. And now for the cup doodle. So starting with the December title at the top, I've just got it in this elongated cursive style, and then it's just all about random doodles. So I used a few different Starbucks cups for inspiration for this theme, and I'm just trying to fill the space with some white floral doodles. And for the bottom, I've got this cute winter scenery with some houses, some Christmas trees, and just some intricate designs. So I'm swapping between the Sakura Jelly Roll pen and the acrylograph pen for the bigger areas. And then I'm just filling the rest of the cup with some doodles. Adding some finishing touches and some dots, this cover page is finally complete. And oh my gosh guys, I love it. Please tell me what you think down in the comments. Okay, so now for my quote page. So I'm using the same two reds that I used earlier, and I'm doing the same exact technique of dipping the lighter red into the darker red, and I'm just using this for some blending for my lettering. I'm re-dipping it after each letter, and with acrylographs it's important to work fast because they dry so quickly. So the quote I've gone for this month is "Baby, it's cold outside." And it's just a simple quote that's just getting me into the Christmas spirit, because I instantly think of the song when I see this quote, and oh my gosh, is it freezing here in the UK at least. So the quote is accurate if nothing else. Now I'm just adding some washi tape to complete this theme. So I just got a bunch of new washi tape, and I'm so excited to use the grid ones for this theme. I recently uploaded a haul video where I showed all the new washi tapes I got, so I'll link it down below if you're interested to see where I got each one. And finally for this cover page, I'm just adding some dots, some doodles, a little bit of a drop shadow, and yeah, we're done with the cover page. Please tell me what you guys think down in the comments. I just love how it turned out. And yeah, let's move on to the monthly spread. For the monthly spread, I go for the same calendar layout because I like to see my whole month at a glance. So I make each square 6 dots by 6, which gives me more than enough room for all of the planning I need to each month. And I've got this idea of having 3 Starbucks cups stacked on the left side of the page with a simple December title across the top. For the cup designs, it's the same as I explained on the cover page. So I start with the trapeziums and then I do the lids. And I'm drawing around a Uni Posca marker pen for the small circles for our mermaid lady. The first thing I do is draw an outline of all the cups using the thinner pen, and then I'm doing the exact same blending technique with the thicker 3mm pens. For this one, it's kind of random. I've just kind of got a shadow towards the left of each cup, and I'm doing the same technique of putting the tips of the pens together just to blend it a little bit. For the lids, I've basically done the bare minimum. I've just got a little bit of shadowing with the lighter grey marker. And just like that, we've got the mermaid lady. I told you they were easy to draw. Now for the cup designs. So for the bottom cup, I've got this Christmas tree kind of illusion, and I've just got literal scribbles with a little bit of space where I'll add some brown. And then some scribbles to signify some twigs as well, and I'm using this brown from the Call 4 selection as well, just for some shadowing for the trees. Finally, I'm just adding dots all around the cups for the snowflakes. For the top design, I've got a reindeer on one side of the cup and then some snowflake doodles all around the cup. Such a cute design. And for the middle design, it's just some random doodly, sometimes floral, sometimes star. I based all of these around real Starbucks cups. By the way, I really like the fact that the design only covers the diagonal for this cup. It's a really cool take. And yeah, here are the 3 designs for my monthly spread. Let me know down in the comments of all the designs you'll see in this setup, which Starbucks cup design is your favorite. And for the calendar itself, I've just got a grey box with thinner grey lines on the inside. For the header, I used the red from my trusty cheap brush pen set. If you guys saw my cheap brush pen video, I found a perfect dupe for Tombows, and I love this red from the set. Finally, I'm just adding some washi tape to the bottom right of the spread, and this spread is complete. Now for the mood tracker. So I'm back to this layout of having the mood tracker on the left and the habit tracker on the right. And for this one, I've just done a basic shape at the bottom, and now I'm doing the title. So I've just got mood written in capitals and tracker in this brush lettering. So for that, I used my favorite calligraphy pen. It's the Sepia calligraphy pen. And guys, look at this tracker text. I just love the brush lettering for tracker. I really feel like I've improved. I'm so happy with how that title came out. So simple, but I just love it. Okay, and back to the cup. So the Starbucks design I'm going for this one was a really cool lights design. And what I've decided to do for this one is to have 31 of those lights, and then I will color it in to signify my mood. So this time around, I'm using the thinner pen to outline every single one of these lights. So for the other cup spreads I've done so far, I covered the whole thing in the red and then I did the design on top. But for this one, since I will need to color in each of these, I just thought it'd be easier to outline everything and then color around it. And yeah, I'm just using the same 2 red colors, doing a little bit of unofficial blending and leaving the areas white. Now quickly adding our Starbucks mermaid lady in the same exact method I described earlier. Some black outlines for the Christmas lights using the black acrylograph pen. Again, see what I see about how amazing it layers. And yeah, that's basically the mood tracker. A little bit of shading for the lid, and that is it. For the habit tracker, I refer back to my grid spacing sheet, which tells me exactly how many dots and how much spacing I need for each of these calendars. And I've got the same 6 calendar layout, and I use these calendar block stamps, which just makes this spread so quick and easy to do. Finally, I just add the headers with the red brush pen, and I add a key to the bottom left of the spread with plain white as the happiest mood, and then going through the Tombow greys to a dark grey as the worst mood. And yeah, here's my mood and habit tracker spread. Now for my gratitude log spread. I flip back to my grid spacing sheet because it tells me how many dots I need to go over, and I just number 1 to 31 down the page. So you guys know from my gratitude log spread, I love having space just to write one line a day of something I'm thankful about. And so I make this spread super functional and not too arty. I've just added a few cups to this spread. So I've also got my art brain dump page on the right side of the page. And this is just for any specific December planning I need to do. It simply just gives me space to write anything that comes to mind for the right side of the page. And for the designs for these spreads, I've just gone for very, very simple designs using the white pen. And yeah, I think they're just cute and simple for my gratitude log and art brain dump spreads. Finally, I added some washi tape to the right side of the spread just to complete it. And the final spread I'll be setting up today is my first weekly spread. So for this weekly spread, I've gone for the horizontal layout. I've just gone for the cheap brush pen to indicate which day. So I only set up my first weekly on my YouTube videos, and then I show each weekly spread on my Instagram. So I've been using the Instagram Reel feature a lot, and you guys have really been enjoying it. And I also post a final flip through at the end of the month. So if you want to see how the entire theme turns out, head over to my Instagram. I've just put the simple cup doodle on the top left of the page. I've got notes at the top of the page as well. And I decided to have each day of the week in its own rectangle. And that is it. Here's the flip through of my final monthly setup for 2020. It's this Starbucks Christmas themed December setup. And it's so crazy to see how time has flown and we're already at the end of the year. We know 2020 has been such a mad year, so I'm looking forward to the new year and I can't wait to show you guys my 2021 setup. But I love how this theme came out and I hope you do too. So let me know what you think down in the comments. I'd love to know. And if you like this video, you love any of the others in my bullet journal playlist, so please take a look and I will see you on my next video. Goodbye.